big news coming in from Microsoft camp right now. Extremely news.
Huge news. They have acquired Bethesda Game Studios.
And who would have thought that was going to happen? That is crazy.
Nobody did. Well, these fake insiders sure didn't. That's for sure.
Oh, well, of course. Insiders always think they know something.
But yeah, so they pretty much own every single Bethesda IP you could possibly think of. This includes Doom, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Wolfenstein, Dishonored, Prey, and so much more. Now what do you think of this? Because this is already a bombshell.
I think this is a good move. Personally, I think it's a smart move because not only they just acquire this at some random Monday, but they require this a day before pre-orders go live with the Xbox Series X. So that alone was a smart move that they even did that, because now it's like, hey guys, before you having second guesses about getting an Xbox Series X, we also going to have these IPs as well included along with our platform, which I think is a good move. Not only just that, also Game Pass.
Exactly. Day one Game
Pass increases its value over time. It's incredible.
And for PC.
Yeah, like it's incredible how they see. And I know I've seen a lot of people who've said this, because I mentioned this many times. I wish that PlayStation Plus had a certain Xbox subscription like that, where you can play all their first party titles day one of launch. Because right now, when you look at the next gen titles right now, they're all like 70 a pop, and you're like, yo, 70 a pop for each game is kind of like, it gets a little expensive. And then we're not even talking about the next gen when Unreal Engine 5 come out, because we know games might even cost more when that new software engine comes out. So when the new Unreal Engine 5 come out, that's when things can get a little bit more expensive.
$70.
It can go to 80. It can go to 80. I say 80 something when Unreal Engine 5 come out. Who knows? But you barely get anything with the base model, you know? Like when you buy a regular retail copy game, you barely get nothing anyway. So if you want to get the full advantage, you have to spend over like $100 anyway. So like the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Which is why this is a great purchase by Microsoft, because now for people who own an Xbox as well as people who own a Windows 10 PC, they can easily get any new Bethesda title that comes out on Xbox Game Pass for $15 a month for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So this right here is an automatic win for Xbox, a huge win. And they already said they're gonna have creative control. No, they're gonna have Bethesda have full creative control over their games, meaning that they're not going to interfere with their decision making as well as making the game and stuff like that. So that's going to be interesting.
That's the first, actually, because we all know Microsoft is really not good when it comes to their studios, how they sometimes would, interfere with things and try to push their own narrative and things like that. So for them to actually give them creative control, that's the first time I'm even hearing this, because if we had creative control before, we would have still had Bungie, and that's something that Microsoft completely lost because of their ways of how they act or how they operate.
Their obsession with Halo.
Right. I mean, if they allow Bungie just to make whatever they want to make, then Bungie would still be on Microsoft. But it is what it is. I mean, I think things works out for the best because Destiny's doing well, of course, as well as they're also getting the new DLC coming into the Game Pass as well too. So I still see a little partnership, a little friendship along with Phil Spencer and Bungie, and he also is a huge fan of Destiny, so it made sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. To bring it back, I would say the moral of the story is Game Pass is just getting bigger and better with time. And I already talked about my love for Game Pass, and it just, they continuously begin to just demolish every hater. They'd be like, oh, who wants to play old games? Oh, they have nothing. They have Bethesda. They have Bethesda. Come on now.
To literally buy Bethesda for $7.5 billion was a crazy deal that they even did. And
it was.
I know a lot of people are wondering wow, that's going to cut, that's going to be a budget cut there if they do that like that. They're not really worried so much about it because at the end of the day, Game Pass is a service for them, and they are getting more and more subscribers each and every day from that alone. So
exactly.
They know what they're doing.
In fact, Game Pass subscriptions went up 50% to now 15 million in less than a year, bro.
That's crazy.
That's
actually
year.
More than PlayStation Now.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
That's ridiculous. As a matter of fact, even less than 6 months. So I'm assuming about like 2 or 3 months, 4 max. That's wow.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Insane. I mean,
that is impressive.
Yo, like the way they dropped it on a random Monday is incredible, because it's like you wouldn't even think there would be some crazy news like this occurring, but for them to just drop it out of nowhere.
Which is why it was the perfect time for Phil Spencer to drop the tactical
very
nuke
silent.
on your everyday Monday.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like a day before when the Xbox Series S
pre-orders,
X go
yes.
What? Like, it's like a last minute push. Like, you know, hey yo, before you pre-order, I know you guys are, you know, on the fences. We got Bethesda now, so now you guys go ahead and pre-order. It's crazy.
Literally.
Crazy.
And on top of that, like I've seen it on YouTube, a clip on YouTube. He was actually on the news doing an interview. I forgot which news station it was, but he was talking about the Series X and stuff like that. So like, yeah, this dude, he knows how to market this console. Like, what better way to market a console to release like a huge studio purchase the day before pre-orders, as well as make a television appearance and talking about the next gen console. Like, that is how you do marketing. That's how you do marketing.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. I mean, this is great for gamers, not just for Xbox. This is great for Windows gamers, PC gamers, because now
PC is eating,
acquire
bro.
the same exact experience by playing these type of titles on the PC as well too. So that's really good that they accommodate that. So I'm happy about it. Like, that's good, yo.
And I also seen, you know, a lot of so like predominantly Sony channels actually be like, yo, this is a big move, and it should be, because this is huge. This is a huge purchase. And again, like, I don't want to see anybody say this is anti-consumer, because we already know Sony this whole generation has been completely anti-consumer with the whole, I mean, Spider-Man. Come on now.
They had Square Enix the whole time, so Square Enix and a few other different IPs on different companies underneath their belt the entire time, especially Activision.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Activision, Call of Duty. Y'all get the betas early and season pass early before PC
and Xbox.
And Xbox
exactly.
Does,
so, and not to mention that this will not be the last of their exclusivity. They're gonna have more exclusivity deals headed to the PS5 generation. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, PS5 is set when it comes to like the third party multi-plat. I mean, because right now what they're doing right now is they're adding a lot more time exclusives with a lot of games. I mean, you got Deathloop, you got Ghost of Tokyo, you got Final Fantasy 16. You also got
I mean, Demon Souls could possibly be a time exclusive to to PC. Yeah.
Demon Souls is coming to PC as well too, yeah. But all those stuff is just like timed right now, but there are coming to PC as well too. But with the deals that Sony has in place, they have a lot of deals with different companies to keep their games timed. So again, this would have been a good move either way. I know a lot of people would wish that this happened the other way around, but regardless, if people don't think it's a good move, they're crazy, because
they would have been doing cartwheels, somersaults. They would have had a whole parade. Yes, it's just amazing, the fact that they, like, this is even reality at this point. Like, everybody was talking about, like, yo, Xbox need like a heavy hitter studio, like a third party studio that is like very relevant. Like, no disrespect towards like the people that they bought. Most of them were really like small companies that did like, oh, you had like a few titles that blew up, but the company at large wasn't really too much to, you know, to brag about. But Bethesda, like that's generations of bangers right there. So that's a huge purchase, and
that's a lot of first party as well. As like, if you think about it, a lot of single player aspects will be now part of Microsoft, because that's one thing they lacked. That
right,
Microsoft lacked huge when it comes to exclusives and first like more like a single player experience, what they lacked at the most.
Yeah, like RPG, MMO type stuff. And they also need more they're also gonna need another first person shooter that isn't Halo.
Oh, that's where Doom comes into play. Doom and Wolfenstein will come into play, so that would be kind of cool.
Day one.
Listen, this whole move is a great move. It's a good business move, number one. Number two.
Yep, exactly. And a whole bunch of millions other people as well, because you already know that 15 million could easily turn to 20 million. That 20 million could turn to 40 million, because yeah,
literally that makes me remember to actually like renew my Game Pass actually. So
regardless if it's timed, it's gonna be on Game Pass day one. The fanboys or people who just like being negative just for the sake of it, try, like, you can't even try to spin this into a negative. This is only positive. Why? Because not only is Microsoft acquiring a huge studio, but also Xbox and PC gamers are benefiting because they're putting their games on Game Pass, which anybody with a Windows 10 PC or an Xbox can benefit from. So it's literally a pro-consumer move for gamers in general.